Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 195. Today is Thursday, and we are going on a long one today. Today is kind of a weird day because I have so many meetings going on. I've been so aggravated with all the meetings, the people moving meetings from one day to the next, and making it hard to organize things and hard to plan ahead for the next day. That today I finally just said I'm just going to go for it. It doesn't matter. Right now it's 67 degrees, very foggy morning, and we're just heading out. And for the people who just want to ask for stuff day and night at work, I'm just ignoring them. So guy sent me a message at 10:15 last night asking me to do stuff. You know what? He can wait till morning. I'm done with that stuff. So this morning I have an 8:45 meeting, a 9:30 meeting, 11 o'clock, 11:30, and then a 1 o'clock, which I'm not going to attend, at 2:30. So I filled in the rest of the day with just empty meetings because I don't want any more meetings to be added, and I did the same for tomorrow, so that tomorrow is limited as well. Now, if for some reason I'm done with what I'm doing and I happen to be sitting in the car for that 1 o'clock meeting, okay, I'll do it. Otherwise, I did not accept the meeting. I put a different meeting over that time as well, so even if they look at my calendar, they'll see that time blocked off. Anyway, I don't want to be a jerk about it, but keeping moving meetings over and over again and having people change their schedule and then you don't show up. This is one of those whiny people who's too tired or doesn't feel good or needs a mental health day or whatever it is. They'll be sitting on the other side of the wall from me, and I'll send them a message. You'll hear the message pop up on their screen. You'll see on Teams where they viewed the message, and then they don't reply to the message. So, you don't go to any kind of lengths for me. I'm not going to do it for you right now. Anyway, today on our way out, we're going to stop for some fuel. Prices have kind of jumped in my area, and the area I'm going to is going to be very cheap. So we'll get fueled up there, and that should be enough for the whole day. Other than that, we're going to try to get some blackjack in today. Hopefully less poker, more slots, more blackjack today, and we'll see what happens. I kind of have a little bit of a game plan. We'll see what happens with that, and we'll just go from there. So, that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. We're about 30 minutes away from our casino for the day. Already had 2 meetings, also stopped for fuel, and once I get to the casino, I believe I'm only going to have about 5 or 6 minutes before I have 2 more meetings, so it's not going to be fun, but at that point then I'll have a little bit of time to be able to play. Let me look at the exact times here. Okay, so yeah, I'll have an hour worth of meetings, and then potentially 2.5 hours without meetings. Now that one that I don't want to attend, that one is an hour after my second meeting. So just depending on how things are going, I may attend it. I don't know. I don't want to, but it's possible. So once we get to this casino, we'll have about 5 minutes to get ready. We'll have 2 30-minute meetings, and then we'll go from there. So right now temperature is 80 degrees outside, cloudy. Weather's holding up pretty good. Traffic is pretty heavy. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I am just pulled into the casino. I got about 8 minutes before my meeting was supposed to start, but the first one is canceled. I just sent a message to the other group of people for the other meeting, and I'm hoping they're going to say that we don't need it. I really don't think We need that other one. That team is doing so well on their vulnerabilities. So I'm thinking that we might be good. But I can at least go into the casino. I'll have at least a half hour. If that other one is not necessary anymore, then I will attend the meeting that I wasn't going to attend, because at that point, I wouldn't have really done that much. I would have had enough time to gamble and stuff. Hopefully be in a position where maybe I'm getting ready to leave by then. So we'll see. So I'm going to let you go here. I'm going to go into the casino, get this thing all turned off, and then hopefully these meetings are canceled and I'll be back. Man, all right. I'm just getting back to the car here, and it's been quite a day. Oh. Whew. All that noise in your head, man, that really wears you down. Just like, I think I talked about it before with airplanes. Even if you aren't listening to music or anything, you should have earplugs or headphones or something in your ears to keep that noise out. Now, I know a lot of the newer planes are quieter, but that noise alone gives you a lot of fatigue and a lot of health issues, and people wouldn't think that, but it is true. Oh, golly. All right, so at this point, after the first one meeting of the day, everything else got canceled. This is the state of our, I won't say our country, I'll say our company. How about that? Because it's so ridiculous. Your calendar looks so full, and then you don't do anything. It's like the whole day is wasted. And I was in this casino most of the work day. And how much work did I do? I'm completely caught up on everything. Everyone's happy with my work. It's like, how much do people work? If you don't believe that there's going to be basic income given to everyone soon with this AI revolution, that's a stupid, I think that's the car dealer. If you don't believe that basic income is coming for everyone, and it could be more than basic, because manufacturing, it's going to kick into high gear, and it's not going to require people. So there'll be an abundance of all kinds of resources and stuff. You're kidding yourself, because it is. They need less and less people to do the same job. We went to a sushi place a couple times recently, and they have those belts, and sushi just rolls all day, and you take whatever you want off it. If you want an appetizer, then you order the appetizer, and there's a different track with like a little train thing on it, and that little train robot thing brings you your appetizer. And the only thing that the waiter does is bring you your drinks. And really, they put a soda machine in. Why do they need that guy, right? And they can still ask you for tips, because that's what people do. But anyway, started off the day really terribly. I was ahead about $60. No, $75 on the first slot that I played. And then it was like the first thing I looked at when I walked in. And I'm like, wow, this is great. There must be nobody in here. So played that. I was up like 74, 75. And after that, there was nothing. And it's interesting, because these guys always tell me that they're here. Or other places that I go, oh yeah, we're here. But I never see anybody until later on in the day, so I don't know. But then I decided at that point to just go play some poker, which I really don't want to have to do. How come? See, oh, there we go. So I did that, and that table was so bad, and part of it was my fault. Part of it was I shouldn't have sat at that table specifically. I was going to play 1-3 pot limit Omaha. 1-3, right? And I go there, and the table breaks up just as I'm getting to it. So then he's like, okay, you can go play 1-3 Hold'em, no limit Hold'em. Okay, go to this table. Table's full. Okay, go to this table. All old men. And I knew it was going to be a long haul, long grind. And when these guys are raising 25, that they have a big pair, and that's all they have is a big pair. And then they're going to keep on betting that pair all the way to the river. If you can catch them, you win. If not, you're going to lose. And I did chase twice and lost both of those, and that was basically what I lost. Other than that, I just basically broke even. Had terrible cards the whole time. 9-3, 10-4, Jack 6, 4-5 not suited, in the blind with like 3-7 not suited, and it's like, okay, lose $2, lose $1, lose $3, whatever it is, dollar, all those dollars add up, and just could not get anything going. And I ended up leaving that table down $272, and it stunk. It did, because I played that table for under an hour. For the record here, I'm going to put it in as 45 minutes on my spreadsheet. For sure it was under an hour. I want to say 45 minutes. And then I went back to slots. That's when I ran into my friends, and we talked for a long time. And they're like, actually, while I was sitting at the table, I'm going to have to call this guy back too. While I was sitting at the table, a friend of mine came up, and he's like, oh, we played this, it was at this, and we lost, he lost 8,000 and 13,000, and then they got back 6,000, all on bad plays. Why are you playing $50 and $100 plays if they're bad plays? And I said to my friend, he was just about to tell me about it, and I said, yeah, I heard it from so-and-so that he played it. And I said, you understand that these thresholds that we put into place, these are break-even thresholds. You don't want to say it's almost break-even, so I'm playing it. Think about that. If somebody said, okay, it's break-even, give me 100, I'll give you 100. Okay, I'll get points, all right? If they say it's plus $50 expected value, $50 EV, give me 100, I'll give you 150 on average, okay. But if you say it's negative EV, give me 100, I'll give you 70 every time, why would you play it? And they're playing it at $50 and $100 a spin. Do you know how much money $100 a spin is? Do you have any clue how much you could put through a machine? If you're fast playing it, you're doing a spin at least every second. Okay? So $100 times 60 is $6,000 a minute. It's $360,000 an hour that you're running through that machine. If it only returns 85%, think about that. These are the terms that you have to be thinking about when you're playing this stuff. $360,000, and you're going to lose 15%. You're losing $54,000 an hour. Is it any surprise that you played it for 15 minutes and you lost 8,000, 12,000, stuff like that? There's no surprise. Are you going to win every once in a while? Yes, by luck. But then, again, it doesn't make sense. So, I don't know. I'm really not in a bad mood. We talked for a little while, and then the one guy who plays everything way too loose, not the guy I just talked about, but a different guy who plays everything way too loose, he bought us lunch because he's got $1,500 in comps. And we're like, dude, why do you have $1,500 in comps? You've already gotten kicked out of other casinos. Even though you're a losing player overall. Believe me, you're a losing player. I want to see your win-loss statement. And we're like, why don't you take some sodas home, cakes, donuts, whatever they have. Take 2 or 3 things home in the morning, 2 or 3 things home in the afternoon. Why do you have this much money on here? What are you saving up for? The biggest thing they have is pizza for $30. Take all your food home for the next month or two and run this thing down a little bit, because when they finally kick you out of here, you're going to be, when they kick you out of here, you're going to lose it all. This guy's just parked at the light. Okay, here we go. He actually had it in park. I don't know. Maybe he's got some issue. Now he's pulling over. So he's not listening, but he'll find out when they take it all away from him. I still have some at one place, and I've been trying to run it down to zero, and I can't run it down to zero. Every time I think I ran it down to zero, I still have a little bit, but it's under $10 now. So Caesars, I do need to run it down some. I have like $500 there. I need to run that down to under 200 would be good. And I still have all my free meals for the year. I need to use those. Those are $100 each. But I just got a burger, no cheese, because I thought they were paying for it with their comps, but they had like 100 in comps. I didn't realize they had like 1,500. So I left them. I went on my own for a while. I found a couple plays, and slots-wise, I ended ahead 363. So we were down 272, and then plus 363, and then we were walking around, and there's an opportunity on blackjack. I went to go look at it, and it no longer existed. So I did find a blackjack table that was empty, and it looked like only one hand had been dealt, or maybe no hands, like maybe just a cut card was in the discard tray. So I sat down. It was a $25 table. Buy in for $300. Probably should have bought in for $2, but $300 is the limit at this place without them having to call someone to verify. So learn those numbers at the places that you go so you know what to do. So bought it for that $300, and I played for a little bit. The guy never said a word to me. I said, "Hey, how's it going?" Didn't say a word. I said, "Just give me all quarters." Didn't say a word. Played whatever, a quarter of a shoe. Never said a word to me. And then it was like a true minus almost 3. And so I colored up and left. And I colored up 400, so I won $100. And I was just giving my normal stories that I do. Man, I can't win at anything. I'm just going to take the 100 and leave. No expression, didn't talk, didn't call anyone to verify, which you're supposed to at 400 here on a cash out. On any cash out that you color up, you're supposed to call someone. And I left, and I said, "Oh, what a good attitude he's got, good customer service skills here. What kind of bad day he's having." But he reminds me of a character in another show, but it's an old show, and you guys probably wouldn't know what it is. So anyway, speaking of that, here's one that you would know. So a friend of mine is like, "Yeah, so-and-so," who I don't know, but I know his face. He sits behind this machine all day long, every night and every weekend, just sits right behind it all day, doesn't give anyone else a chance. I said, "Who? Cheech?" And he looks exactly like Cheech. Exactly. Like, even aged. Like, Cheech has aged now. That's what he looks like. And he sits behind this machine, playing with his cell phone all night, waiting for someone to get up so he can sit down. And I don't even know if he plays it or if he calls someone else, because he doesn't look like he's got much money. But so walked away from that blackjack. I had 100. And then for a long time, there was nothing else. And I had meetings coming up, and I'm trying to figure out, what am I going to do? I got these meetings. I really don't want to go to the meeting, but at the same time, why would I not go to the meeting? Because I'm not making money right now. At least let me do a good job of work, right? Because I was going to cancel that one meeting. And so I'm heading to the car to do that meeting. And it's 2 minutes until the meeting starts. And I'm cutting it close, and I know I am, because I'm trying to find every little play that I can. And then I'm getting in the elevator to go to my car, and they canceled the meeting. So now we had one meeting left for the day, and that one got canceled. So we had like 4 meetings out of 5 today that were canceled. So I guess that's good for me. The laptop is sitting next to me right now with the mouse jiggler going and keeping that looking good for the rest of the day, which is not very long. But overall, we had a loss of 272. Oh, the slot win at the end there was plus 356. So after all that, I ended up another 356. So poker minus 272. I had a really good streak going for a long time, but now we're going the other way. slots plus 363, slots plus another 356, so we're over 700 for slots, and blackjack $100, which overall puts us plus 547 for the day. So not terrible, but not great considering a lot of travel for 547. Last night I made 129 online, and I do want to. I have an issue where I need to pay some bills, and I don't have a lot of cash in my account, and I don't want to keep depositing money in my account. So I was thinking about going to some of these places directly and just paying cash. I think that would be okay as long as it's not a huge amount of money. So I'm keeping track of where these places are so I can go pay the bills in cash, because I use my income from work plus my income from online to pay my bills. But then if there's anything above that, like now we're going on a cruise and doing some other stuff and paying some bigger stuff, buying another car and all that, that usually comes from either cash or I have to deposit money into my account. So anyway, right now I'm hungry and I'm thirsty, and I'm going to go grab some food, and I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I am back. It's a few hours later and driving toward home. Gonna stop in about 45 minutes or so, take a little bit of a break, and then continue on. I stopped and got food. I actually, I don't know if you've ever heard of this or not. I went to this place, they make their own bread, like a flat bread, like pizza bread, like a personal sized pizza, maybe like a 9 or 10 inch pizza. And then on top of it, they put olive oil and feta cheese, and then they bake it, and it comes out like bubbling cheese, like the most delicious, softest, moist, juicy, ridiculously good. And the bread part of it, the crust part of it, is soft and chewy. It's so delicious. So I got that, and got a little bit of rice pudding as well. And right now we're just continuing on here. Got a lot to do tonight, so I want to get home before it gets dark and take care of that stuff. And we have another long day tomorrow. But right now, going toward home, I'm going to check online, and maybe we get some play online as well. And I'll be back. This is the 1776 countdown, where I count down the top 1,776 reasons why I love the United States of America. And we're to about number 185, 187, somewhere in there. And today is actually not going to count as an additional number, because we mentioned this item when we were talking about Pennsylvania. And that item is the Liberty Bell. So the Liberty Bell was actually cast in 1752, and the bell was made in London, England, and then shipped to Philadelphia, which is very interesting. It weighs 2,080 pounds, and it's made mostly of copper with some tin and bronze. And it is one of America's most famous symbols. Earlier this year, I talked about a coin that came out, a quarter that came out, has a Liberty Bell on one side, and on the face side it has July 4th written on it. And they only made 250,000 of those. The others did not have July 4th written on it, and those are so rare. Right now they're selling for about $300, but it is the Liberty Bell quarter. Now, back then, it actually cracked the first time that it was tested. So then they recast the bell in Philadelphia. So then you might be saying, well, wait a minute. I thought that it still has a crack in it. So if it had a crack and then was recast in Philadelphia, what happened? Well, the famous crack happened later on, sometime in the early 1800s, and we're not sure exactly when, but that is a different crack than the original one. So the bell has a famous inscription from Leviticus 25:10, proclaim liberty throughout the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. So again, people talk about the Christianity or Judeo-Christian foundation of our country. Well, there you go. Way back in Leviticus, and they used that on the Liberty Bell from 1752. So it hung in Pennsylvania State House for a long time, which is now called Independence Hall, which we talked about that back of actually it's Independence Hall on the $100 bill. So I have to check to see. I want to say, here's a $100 bill. Yeah, Independence Hall is on the back of the $100 bill. And it hasn't been rung in a very long time. The last time it was rung was in 1846. And the reason for that is they just didn't want the crack to get worse. So right now, the Liberty Bell has its own building, and it's called the Liberty Bell Center, and that's where millions of people have seen it. But it's become one of the most famous symbols of freedom and independence. So that is the Liberty Bell, which is another great reason why I love the United States of America. All right, guys, we can do some other segments here. What did you eat today, MW? Well, I just mentioned that I just ate that feta cheese pizza, you could call it. It doesn't have any tomato sauce, but it does have a sauce which is really more olive oil than anything else. And I'm going to give that a jack on a scale of 2 through ace. One of my favorite things, because it's warm and chewy and comforting and delicious, moist at the same time. It's fresh. It's made right there for you. You say, I want this, they'll make it for you. And the price is absolutely insane. Let's call it a 10-inch size pizza that it's on. A 10-inch crust. They sell it for $2.99. $2.99. I mean, that's like, to me, where I live, that's like 10 pounds worth of cheese, $10 worth of cheese that's on it. And they sell the whole thing for $2.99. So I ate that, and then earlier on I had a hamburger a friend of mine bought, and I'll give that about an 8 on a scale of 2 through ace. It was small, it was basic. It's like what you'd expect in a hospital where they have no seasonings. You know, they want everyone to be happy, so they don't want to put any kind of flavor in it at all. You want a hamburger? There you go. It's a hamburger. Nothing else. Nothing extra at all. And so I give that about an 8. What did you tip today, MW? Well, today I played some terrible poker and probably won 3 or 4 hands and tipped $1 a piece on those, so $3 or $4. I did play blackjack with, I don't know, should I call him a mute? I don't know. He didn't talk. I know he can talk. I've talked to this guy before. He's not the nicest guy, but yeah, I don't know what his deal is. So, he's like, okay, I'll tell you what he looks like. Back in Star Trek, the original version, look it up. There was an episode about Landru, and Landru was this guy, is like a ghost and all this stuff. But there was an old man in that episode with a real grumpy puss on his face, and he was always like not happy and frowning and stuff like that. That's what this guy looks like. I love how I portray these guys. You got him, you got Skeletor, you got all these amazing characters that I run into. And believe me, pretty soon, when I'm banned from all these places, I'm going to tell you exactly which place it is and exactly who it is. Maybe we'll post a picture of the person. Anyway, and what did you learn today, MW? Well, I learned that there's still some possibilities out there, but the door is definitely closing. We got to keep hustling, keep working hard. I'm making less than I remember in a very long time. Although stable income coming in, it's not the greatest income, so we are doing our best here, but things are pretty tough right now. So I'm going to continue on here. I'm going to pull over in about 20 or 30 minutes, and we'll rest a little bit, get something to drink, and continue our trip home. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21. at gmail.com. See you next time.